Okay, hi everyone. Thanks for joining us. So I'm going to present Claudia Aly, who is the Parent Outreach Coordinator with ISAC, which is the Illinois Student Assistance Commission, and she's going to give a presentation on the overview of ISAC services. So take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Allison, for the invitation. Again, my name is Claudia Aly. I am the Parent Outreach Coordinator with the Illinois Student Assistance Commission, and I'm here just to go over some of the services that we provide. As you can see, I am the one with the Parent Outreach role, and so I'm going to just cover that as well as other services that we provide. So a little bit about the agency. So the Illinois Student Assistance Commission, also known as ISAC, is basically the state agency that administers different programs, scholarship, grant, and the student loan repayment and forgiveness programs. And as you can see, our mission is to provide Illinois students with information and assistance to help make education beyond high school accessible and affordable. And so this is my agenda for today. So again, I'm going to talk a little bit of the different services that we provide. One of them is the student support. Then I will touch about the parent component, the ISAC programs, and then I will talk a little bit about the financial aid applications, as well as the student resources. So starting with the student support. So what is it that we do to support students here in the state of Illinois? So we have what is called or known as the Illinois Student Assistance Corps, or the ISAC Corps for short. So these are basically recent college graduates who live and work in the different communities here in the state, and they basically help students and parents navigate the college going process. So they support students in the financial aid application process as well as the college admissions process. So basically, these recent college graduates are near peer mentors who work with different schools, including middle school, high school students. And so basically, they represent ISAC in schools and at different events in the different communities here in the state. So they work in collaboration with the school counselors, they work at public libraries. So with the whole purpose of supporting the students in their college going process. A lot of this has to do with completing the financial aid application for college. And as I mentioned at the beginning, I will cover a little bit about those applications. And so how can you find your local ISAC Corps member? Anyone can go to the student or the ISAC student portal. This is a screenshot of how it would look like. And so they will select the ISAC Corp tab on the top, and then it will ask you to enter your zip code. Again, these core members are throughout the state, and they will be serving the district area where they live or where they are assigned. So I actually look up the zip code for Hillside, Illinois, and these are the core members that are located in the area. So the font might be a little small, but you can also look it up, as I mentioned, by typing the zip code. It says that, the school district is for the Triton College. So they don't have an office there, but they're covering all that area. And you can see that they have, their names, their email address, their phone number. And if the representative speaks another language, it will definitely say whether they speak, Spanish, or they speak Polish, or any other language. For this particular area, we have two representatives who speak Spanish for students and families who prefer the Spanish language. Usually, based on my experience, like speaking with the Latino community, like parents prefer to speak Spanish, so they might prefer someone who speaks Spanish, right? But again, there is the different options for English or Spanish. Okay. Okay, so now moving forward with the parent support. As I mentioned, I am the parent outreach coordinator, and we're also here to support the families with the purpose of, providing all the information, the resources that parents need to support their students in their college going process, especially because we understand that not everybody had the opportunity to go to college, right? And so we understand and we think the family engagement is important for their student. And so, again, these services are provided by our agency, and I am the one who actually provide the services for the families in within the state of Illinois. My job is to work throughout the state, and so I provide similar to what the ISAC core members do. I work in collaboration with the different schools, with community-based organizations, with libraries, providing different services. So I am available to work with anybody in terms of providing like one-on-one, or we can do group meetings. So we can do Q&A sessions. We have different presentations that we can provide to the families, and this, I guess, has to do with their interests, right? The most popular presentation is on the financial aid aspect, because again, this is a very important topic for the parents to support their students. Recently, I have been meeting a lot with families, like one-on-one, and I usually use the libraries. We don't have an office where families or students can meet with us. So we usually work from home. But again, I am always trying to be available for the families, whether it be meeting with them at a coffee shop or again at the library. And libraries have given me the opportunity, some of them, to work with them, to provide presentations and or hosting information at tables. So that's a great opportunity for me to provide these services, right? To provide awareness about our agency and all the different services that we provide. And again, the parent component is one that we think is very important. We know that the students might be receiving, the information, the support that they need for them to apply for colleges or to apply for scholarships, but this information sometimes doesn't get home, right? So the students, have that information, but they don't share it with us as parents. So it is important to know that questions parents might have, you can find that support through us. And so this is just some screenshots of the different sessions that I provide. So sometimes I do presentations at a conference or with with a specific parent group at specific high schools. I do info tables, but again, it depends on what the family is interested, or what the organization or the collaboration prefers, right? So if they want to do a session with different parents, I can do that. Or if they want to do an info table, I can also do that. So again, I am available virtually, in person, through a phone call, or we also have a text messaging platform, which I'm going to talk at the end of this presentation, that you can also benefit from it. So now I'm going to just do a quick overview, because you'll have information as where to find these, the different programs that we have. So I'm going to start with the MAP grant, and I think I have another slide that is specifically for this grant. So the Monitor or Work Program grant is a need-based grant, right? This is for Illinois undergraduates at approved Illinois public and 2 or 4 year colleges. So it is important to apply it as early as possible using the free application for federal student aid, which I'm going to cover a little bit about that as well. And this covers tuition and mandatory fees. And right now, the student could be eligible for up to $8,064 per year. And then the Illinois Veteran Grant. So this is for Illinois veterans, including Illinois National Guard and the Armed Forces Reserve members with at least 1 year of federal active duty service in the U.S. Armed Forces at Illinois 2 and 4 year colleges. And this covers the tuition and mandatory fees. The Illinois National Guard grant, or ING. So this is for currently active enlisted Illinois National Guard members with at least 1 year of service or recently discharged members at Illinois public 2 and 4 year colleges. And again, this also covers tuition and certain fees. And then the other one, it's for, which is the grant for dependents of police, fire, and correctional officers. So this one is basically, again, it could be a spouse and children of police, fire and correctional officers killed or disabled in the line of duty. And this is at approved Illinois public and private degree granting institutions. And, similar to the other ones, this covers the tuition and mandatory fees. To find more information about these grants, anyone can go into the ISAC.org website and find more information about, this different grant programs. So now these are only 3 of the ISAC scholarships. And so the nursing education scholarship, this is for Illinois nursing students at approved colleges pursuing different certificates, diplomas, or degrees. And as you can see, this one covers tuition, mandatory fees, and living expenses. And then the Illinois Special Education Teacher Tuition Waiver, or SETTW. This is for Illinois students at Illinois public 4-year universities pursuing initial certification as special education teachers. These basically waives tuition and mandatory fees. So this is not per se a scholarship, but this is more of a waiver. And then the other one is the Early Childhood Access Consortium for Equity, or the ECACE scholarship. And this is early childhood. This is for early childhood workers, past or current, pursuing an associate or bachelor degree in early childhood at Illinois 2 or 4 year consortium member institutions. This covers up to $7,500 per year for tuition fees and living expenses. And again, these are just some examples of the programs. ISAC.org is the best, way to go to find out, the rest of the different programs that we have. Now, I'm going to cover this just because you might be wondering, like, how are we related, or what do we have to do with the financial aid applications? So the free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA, basically this is the application that most high school senior students complete beginning on October 1st. So that's basically the date which this application is available. Again, high school senior students complete this. This will be the first time that they will be completing this application. And then every year they're applying for college, they will have to complete this application to see if they're eligible to receive financial aid. So this application is available at no cost, right? So is free. It is used to apply for federal financial aid programs like the Pell Grant, the MAP Grant. The Pell, the student loans, and also the work study program. So these are federal programs, and then some states, like here in Illinois, the FAFSA is also used for state financial aid programs like the MAP Grant, right? So if a student completes the FAFSA, Basically, the student is applying for the Pell Grant, for the MEP grant, the work study program, and for the student loans. And sometimes, or some colleges use this application as well to award their institutional aid. And even sometimes students may think that they might not be eligible to receive funds through the FAFSA, but if they don't complete it, some institutions might not award their institutional financial aid. Now, the alternative application for Illinois financial aid, also known as the alternative app. So this is basically allows qualifying undocumented students who are not otherwise eligible for financial aid to apply for the Monitor Work Program or the MAP grant to attend Illinois colleges, universities, or career education programs. So basically, undocumented students cannot complete or cannot apply for federal programs, right, through the FAFSA. So they can actually complete this application, the alternative app, same as the FAFSA at no cost, right? So it's free to apply. And this application is only for Illinois state financial aid. This is for qualifying undocumented students, as I mentioned, and some colleges will use this application similar to the FAFSA, right, to award institutional aid. So FAFSA is for students who have a social security number, for students who were born here. But then the alternative app is basically for qualified undocumented students. So students can find more information as far as like what are the requirements to apply for this financial aid. Again, ISAC.org, you'll find information on the alternative app in there as well. So I just want to spend a little bit more time on the Monitor Work Program grant, which is the grant that will be, I guess the students will be applying through FAFSA as well as through the alternative app, right? So the Monitor Work Program grant is the Illinois-based, need-based grant, right, for low-income college students. There is a specific amount of money that is appropriated for this program every year. For eligibility, a student with financial need must be an Illinois resident and would want it to attend an Illinois school that is MAP approved. Again, the students apply for MAP by completing the FAFSA or the alternative application beginning on October 1st. So the application is available for the senior high school students, as well as for the students who are applying now. They should be completing the FAFSA 2026-27, and then the same thing for the alternative app, the 2026-27 application. And then the MAP is awarded to eligible students based on when the students complete the FAFSA or the alternative application, and funds are awarded on a first come, first serve basis. Now, in terms of the student resources, so we have, again, the ISAC core would be the number one resource for the students, right? But we, as you can see, we have different, tabs within the student portal, and you can see the, the student portal.isac.org. That's where the student would find these this information. So we have resources, we have a toolbox, we have the ISAC core, which is the same kind of like screenshot that I went over when I talk about the core members. But one of the resources that I like to emphasize here is scholarship search, because I think that's one of the questions that a lot of families ask. So the information that I provided earlier in terms of the application, the FAFSA or the alternative app, so that is need-based money, right? That has nothing to do with the scholarship. So the student can apply for the FAFSA or the alternative app, but then the student also can apply for scholarships, right? So these scholarships can be through the the college or the university, or it could be a private scholarship as well. So moving to the next slide is, so if you go to the top right tab, which is resources, there is going to be a list of the different resources that the student can use through there. The scholarship search one is the one that is on the bottom right, and there is an arrow there just to let you know which one is the one that I'm referring to. So it's the Apply. So basically, when the student clicks there, it will take you to the script, to the screenshot that is on the right side, where the student will have to create an account. Again, this is also a free account for Apply. The student completes or creates a profile, and based on that information the student shares, the system makes kind of a collection of all that information and provides a list of possible scholarships that the student could apply or could be eligible to apply. Again, the scholarship search takes time, and a lot of the times our students don't like to spend that time, right? But it is important to start doing this search early on. I always suggest families not to wait until the last year, because the last year is full of different activities the students have to go through. They have to do their essay, they have to find who's going to write a letter of recommendation, they have to apply for colleges, they have to apply for financial aid, and they still have to work hard to finish their senior year strong. So the scholarship search could be something that the students can start doing as early as freshman year, right? Or sophomore year. So again, for the scholarships, they don't have to wait. Each scholarship has different criteria, different deadlines. So again, this is the importance of starting the search early on. This is what is known as the ISAC College Q&A. So basically, this is a free text messaging service where students and families can get their questions answered and receive important information about college planning, events, and deadlines, everything via text message. So to get started, simply a student or parent can text their first and last name, and that's a way of getting registered in a way with this platform. I usually handle the Spanish line, and again, anyone can send their text message, whether it be a question or concern. I usually provide information as like when the application will be available, right? Speaking about the FAFSA or the alternative app. And then, I provide information. Sometimes I do YouTube live events, and I will, send information about that, providing the link for the families to join the YouTube live. And we send information on a regular basis. But then again, if the families, the students have questions, they can send it to us. And this service is available during office hours, right? Like 8:30 to 4:30. Sometimes, if we have time to log in the evening. I personally sometimes log in the evening just because I work a lot with families who work in the mornings, right? And they might not have the time to have a conversation or to have to text during the normal, morning hours. But again, sometimes I log in the evening. Sometimes I log in on Saturday, especially during this FAFSA time, right? So usually September to December are kind of busy for us. And I try to be as accessible as possible, again, understanding the families who work during the morning hours. And something I forgot to mention, so again, my working hours are from 8:30 to 4:30, but I'm also, speaking about what I just said, families might be busy during the day, so I try to be as accessible as possible. And I based on my personal commitments, but I try to put myself available or accessible like after hours, including Saturdays. So if there's any family who's interested in having a conversation, like a one-on-one, if it is not through a workshop or a presentation where more families can join, I can meet on Saturdays, again, as long as my calendar allows. But yeah, so something I did not mention at the beginning, all of our services are completely free. Again, it's important to know that the services are available for the students, for the families, with the whole purpose of, getting the students ready. And the best way for us parents support our students is, getting all the information we need. And so again, we're here to support you, not only through the process of completing the financial aid application, but we are here to support you throughout the college journey, right? So we understand that it is not an easy thing, especially when your student is the first one to go to college, right? As parents, if we don't have the experience, it's hard for us to relate, and it's hard for us to support our students. I was the first one to go to college in my family. I am a first generation college graduate, and for me, going to college was very difficult. The other aspect is that I was born and raised in Mexico, so I came here to find a completely different education system, right? I have to go through learning English, getting my JD, and then go navigate the college process on my own. So again, I understand that these might be very difficult for those families who might not speak the language. So again, the services are provided in English and Spanish. And again, I'm available as long as my personal commitments allowed. But if it is during the morning hours, again, 8:30 to 4:30, and then with the text messaging, you feel free to send your message anytime. And there will be someone replying, whether it is the Spanish line or the English line. So the English, it's 847-243 6470, and then the Spanish number is 773-823-0570. And again, all of our services are completely free. This is my information. If anyone needs to get in contact with me through email, if they prefer to send email, I understand that sometimes text messaging is not the best way to communicate, right? Especially if you have a lot of questions, but I recommend to use a platform. Usually what happens, as soon as I get the first questions, I kind of have an idea of how much the person knows, or if we need like a phone call or or a meeting to clarify all the questions. Sometimes the conversation via text gets a little messy, right? So that's when I offer, to schedule a phone call or a one-on-one meeting. But thank you very much, Allison, for giving me the opportunity to provide this information. I know this is essential, right, for the families, for the students who are in the transition for the college process. So thank you again for having me. And if you're interested in providing an in-person event, I'm always available. Thank you.
Thank you. A big virtual applause. Thank you so much for your presentation. That's a lot of great information. And thank you for sharing your personal story, because I think a lot of parents and even their children can probably relate to that. So,
Yeah, it's a very like I said, it's hard when you don't have, or when you think you don't have the resources or the support from your family, right? As a student, I remember navigating myself, and similar to my siblings, I'm the second oldest of eight, and those who actually went to college, they basically did it on their own. I tried as much as I could to support them, and I understand the frustration as a student, but also as a parent. Like, I am a parent of two kids, two boys. My oldest started college last year, and even like knowing and having all this information accessible, it's hard, right? The other piece is that our students, when they reach that age, they don't want us involved, right? They
Mhm.
don't want us as involved as when they were in middle school. But I think it's another important piece, right? We as parents, we don't have to be telling them what to do every minute, every second, right? But at least if we are familiar, we know how to support them, how to have those conversations, or even if they're in college already. And I think it's important for us parents to know that they might need a time to vent, right? To talk to us. So just be open and be there for them. I think it would make a big difference. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And then I know that we have an upcoming in-person presentation here at the library on the
Mhm.
7th for early awareness. So for
Yeah.
anyone who's watching this, I'm hoping to post this as soon as possible. So I hope
Mhm.
they're able to attend and join us. And I'm also happy that I'm able to work with you to provide these resources, not
Yeah.
just for Hillside, but for all the surrounding communities and the
Yeah, and
providers. Yeah.
if it is not this Friday, I understand it's it's just like 2 days, right?
Right.
From now, but yeah, hopefully we can maintain this collaboration and do it. Even if it is once a year, right?
Hmm.
I feel like the early awareness is important piece for our communities.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much. And then if you want to reach out to you have your information. You told us your information, so then
Mhm.
parents and students are able to reach out to you. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. Of course. Thank you.